What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, I know you're probably thinking, wait, why am I looking at an empty cast iron skillet on the stove and hearing your voice? Well, truth be told, I was shooting some B-roll for this video. And I decided that I liked that angle that the camera was on the pan, and so I figured I'm just going to leave it there, and I'm just going to talk off to the side, because really the important part of the video is going to take place in this pan. But if you don't believe I'm here, I'm here. Here's my ugly mug. Alright, but I figured rather than put my ugly mug on camera and have you have to sit through not only seeing my face, but hearing me talk and then get to the actual video, I figured I would just put it down here, talk to you real quick, and then get moving. So, welcome to the channel, and now you know why you are staring at a frying pan instead of my face. Today's video, we are going to make corned beef hash. It is another one of my favorites to make with leftover corned beef from Saint Patrick's Day. Excuse me if I seem a little jittery. I've had quite a bit of caffeine this morning, and yeah, not much to eat because, well, this is going to be part of my breakfast. Now, the first thing you want to do, of course, is get everything together. Now, my pan is already hot and staying warm. I have some diced onion. This is one medium yellow diced onion and about 4 or 5 medium to large garlic cloves, all diced up nice. I've got some yellow potatoes, pre-boiled and diced up. These are actually leftovers as well from the corned beef and cabbage dinner. If you don't have that, obviously you can just cook some off, but you do want to pre-cook them either way. Otherwise, it's going to take forever to actually cook this dish. And of course, we can't forget the star of the dish, the corned beef itself. I actually took the liberty of pre-dicing this as well. Just so you guys know, if you saw the Reuben video, I showed you about slicing. You want to slice against the grain. When you're dicing, it is okay to cut with the grain as long as you also, remember to dice against the grain or across the grain. That way, your cubes hold up really nice like this. They are going to fall apart. It's cooked meat. It happens. But at least, you'll get some nice little chunks. Alright, so. Oh, and one more thing before I forget. I always like to make up a little bit of my own seasoning, especially when I'm doing stuff like hash browns or, in this case, the corned beef hash, home fries, anything like that. I like to make up my own seasoning. Now, it's always a base of salt and pepper. In this case, I am using kosher salt and black pepper. And you can add whatever you want for flavor into it as well. In my case, I am using garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of oregano, actually, just to kind of spice things up a bit. A dash of red pepper flakes. You don't want to go crazy. You don't want the heat. You just want that little ting in there. And I think that's it. Oh, garlic powder, onion powder. Did I say that? I might have said that already. If I didn't, there it is. If I did, well, now you got to hear it twice. Okay, so the pan should be nice and hot. So first thing we're going to do is dump the onions and garlic in there, and we're going to let those saute up a little bit. Alright, now this is one of those instances where you don't want the pan to be too hot, but you do want the heat of that sizzle. Alright, we're going to stir these up a little bit until they start to get a nice caramel color to them. Now you'll see on here I'm getting a little color from the pan. That is due to the bacon that I cooked off earlier, which is what I am using in this pan, by the way. You want to use about a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons of bacon grease. If you don't have bacon grease, feel free to use extra virgin olive oil or vegetable oil. I will suggest you use extra virgin olive oil. Simply because it has a higher smoke point. You're less likely to get flare-ups and stuff like that while you're cooking this, and you're less likely to burn the food. Alright, so like I said, we're gonna mix these up until we get a nice little bit of color on here. Alright, heat's not too high. We're gonna cook it a little bit slower than we would say if we were in a restaurant. In a restaurant, you're gonna have this cranking. These onions are gonna be like already cooked all the way through and starting to caramelize at this point. If I had this up to a restaurant kitchen heat, but I do not. I actually have this on more of a medium heat, simply because I don't want to burn my onions. Alright, But you see how they're sweating up real nice, and I don't know how well you can tell from there, but this camera is fully zoomed in, so I can't get much closer. Let me pull the pan up to you. Hold on, where's my towel? I don't know how well you can see. Oop, let me not get that glaze in there. If you look, the onions are starting to get a little bit translucent, and that's good. We're going to go a little bit longer on the sauteing part until they're just a little more translucent than they already are. And then we're going to start adding the other stuff in. That really shouldn't take too long. I'm actually going to turn the heat up just a smidge to get this going. Alright guys, so the onion and garlic has cooked down to about where we want it, and the pieces that aren't will catch up as everything else cooks. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the chunks of corned beef in there. Alright, and you want to add that before you add the potatoes for a couple of reasons. One, potatoes are par cooked and are more likely to fall apart than the corned beef is. And two, the corned beef itself is going to take a little bit longer to get hotter than the potatoes are. Now at this point, if you want to throw in some of your seasoning that you made, you can. Remember, don't go too heavy. You really want the corned beef and the onions and the potatoes to kind of be the star of the dish. You don't want to overpower the flavor of that with the flavor of your seasonings. But at the very least, you do want to add at least salt and pepper to enhance the flavor and make it that much more delicious. Now we're going to get to stirring around. Alright, we don't have to go too long before we add the potatoes. You want to make sure you got a nice little stir in there. And this is a cast iron pot, so it's alright if I scrape it with the metal, it's fine. If you're using Teflon, I recommend either you don't use metal or don't scrape it. Yeah, metal and Teflon, not good, they don't mix. Alright, now that we've got a nice little mix up here, everything seems to be mixed up good, we're going to go ahead and add the potatoes in. We're going to give these a nice mix in. Now, I didn't go too crazy on the potatoes today. One, I didn't have that many left over. And two, it's corned beef hash, not potato hash. So you don't have to go super crazy with the potatoes. Plus, they're going to break up a little bit anyway, and it's going to end up filling out and looking delicious. Either way, I mean, look at that. Alright? So now that you've got all this in, you're just going to cook it till it gets nice and hot. Alright guys, so we are pretty much going to just cook this till it gets a little golden brown. Alright, not crazy, not super long, you don't want to burn it. You just want to get a little bit of color in there. Alright, and if you feel like adding a little extra seasoning to it once you've added the potatoes, go right ahead and do that. It's going to be delicious no matter what. Alright guys, and now we are pretty much done. It's got just a little bit of color to it, not too much. It is nice and hot all the way through. It is well seasoned. It is ready to go. And that's really all there is to it, guys. Nice, easy, delicious, and you can pair this with any breakfast item you want. Pancakes, waffles, French toast. In my case, I'm doing it with eggs, which I'm going to be making as soon as I get this out of a pan and into a bowl that I can keep it hot in while I make up the eggs. So I'm going to do that. You guys enjoy. I hope that you found this useful, and I hope that you enjoy this when you get around to making it. If you like my videos and what I do here, please don't forget to throw a like on there and subscribe if you're not already. And if you feel like it, if you want to do me a solid, share it with your friends too, because that really helps us grow. And of course, as always, if you've got any ideas, anything you want to see, anything you want me to make, anything you want advice on or just a new twist on, let me know down in the comments, and I'll be sure to get to that as soon as I can for you. Until the next one, guys, stay hungry.